I'm glad I'm finding out.
I'm not going to call this meeting to order.
Incompetence.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to start it.
All right, Amber, you ready? Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the first Planning Commission meeting of 2026. Happy New Year. I hope everyone had a enjoyable holiday. I think it is 2:59 and probably 59 seconds. And so we're going to be punctual. And so right at 3, we're going to call this meeting to order and ask the staff to read the opening statement. And by my clock, it says 3.
Right, let's do it. Good afternoon, everyone. Happy New Year. But yes, so today, this is the Augusta, Georgia Planning Commission, who is a recommending body. The final decisions on all zoning matters coming before it today will be made by the Augusta Commission on Tuesday, January the 20th, 2026 at 2 p.m. in the Augusta Commission chambers at the Municipal Building. The Planning Commission makes the final decisions on all variances, including subdivision regulations. A handout describing the procedures by which these cases are decided is available upon request. These procedures also require that any applicant for a rezoning action or any opponent to an application for a rezoning action who has made contributions aggregating $250 or more to a local government official within 2 years of the rezoning application to file a disclosure report with the governing authority. The disclosure report must be filed within 10 calendar days of filing the application and at least 10 calendar days prior to today's hearing. A minimum of 10 minutes shall be afforded for the presentation of data, evidence, and opinions on each side of a rezoning petition or a special exception. If more than 10 minutes is afforded to one side, then an equal amount of time shall be afforded to the other side. The Commission encourages participation in this hearing, and there is no restrictions on who may address the Commission within the allotted time, but the Commission asks that the public comments be brief, on subject and non-repetitive, and directed to the Commission, not to any individual or group.
Thank you for that. To the staff, is there any agenda item that we need to address as far as postponement, letting the audience know? I know we have
Yes.
a special exception postponement. Does it need to be read into the record?
Yes, number 7, SE-26-02, a petition by Diamond Communication on behalf of Georgia Power Company requesting a special exception per section 28-A-5A of the Comprehensive Zoning Ordinance to establish a telecommunications tower affecting property containing approximately 3.66 acres located at 4436 Dean Bridge Road.
Okay, so if anyone is here for that particular petition, that special exception, it would be postponed into the February meeting. Okay, let's take the remainder of the agenda from top to bottom.
All right, do you want me to read both 1 and 2 as compatible?
Yeah, so the first 2 can be companion items.
Okay. All right, number 1, Z-25-44, a petition by Sade Kong on behalf of Prestige Wealth Management, LLC, requesting a rezoning from Zone R-3A, multiple family residence, to Zone R-3B, multiple family residential, to develop a tiny home community affecting containing approximately 0.92 acres located at 1412 Hesper McBean Road. Number 2, SC-25-14, petition by Sade Kong on behalf of Prestige Wealth Management, LLC, requesting a special exception per section 17-2 of the Comprehensive Zoning Ordinance to establish a tiny home community containing approximately 0.92 acres located at 1412 Hesper McBean Road. Staff will present.
Thank you, Mr. Vassar. Mr. Chair, members of the commission, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Todd Kennedy with the Planning and Development staff. I'm going to go ahead and read off the case here, Z-25-44, and it's a companion item running concurrently, SE-25-14, but it'll just be one presentation covering them both. Okay, the information is as follows. The summary of the request includes the petition seeks to rezone approximately 0.92 acres. The request to change the zoning from R3A, multiple family residential, to R3B, multiple family residential, to allow for a tiny home community upon approval of a special exception. That'll be the next case. The property contains a 240 square foot shed that is used as an office that was placed on site without proper permitting. The conceptual site plan submitted with this application process to construct a total of 5 tiny homes. The overall project aims to help low-income families by providing affordable rental units. This petition was postponed by the Planning Commission on December 1st, 2025, to allow for the applicant to work with the Health Department and an engineer to create more detailed plans. Please note that the findings and recommendations of this report pertain strictly to the petition to rezone the property. The merits of the special exception petition SE 25-14 are discussed in the staff report for that petition. Both petitions must be approved by the Augusta Commission for the tiny home community to begin operations. Comprehensive plan consistency. This property is in the South Richmond character area. The 2023 Comprehensive Plan's vision for the South Richmond character area will be to maintain its predominant rural atmosphere characterized by large tracts of forest land, open space, rural residences, some farms and creeks. Additional suburban residential and commercial development will be located in areas designated for such uses. Industrial development will be limited to existing locations in the Augusta Corporate Park. Public facilities and services will be expanded as necessary to accommodate the growing population. This petition for rezoning is not consistent with the 2023 comprehensive plan. Okay, the findings. They are as follows, findings 1 through 21. Number 1, Section 26-1V of the Comprehensive Zoning Ordinance allows for tiny home communities in R3B zones with the approval of a special exception. Number 2, the conceptual site plan and exterior renderings have been submitted with this application. Number 3, the 5-unit tiny home development will be comprised of prefabricated container home buildings. The colors can be customizable, while the material will be comprised of galvanized steel and sandwich panels. Number 4, the proposed tiny homes will each measure 400 square feet, which satisfies the size requirement of 400 square feet or less. Number 5, each dwelling unit is limited to 1.5 stories in height. The letter of intent states that some tiny homes are proposed to be 2 stories in height, which would not be permitted in this zoning district. Number 6, the proposal has an overall density of 5.4 units per acre, which satisfies the 5 units per acre minimum density requirement permitted in the R3B zone. Number 7, the concept plan does not show a front setback. However, the development, if approved, would need to meet minimum setback required in Section 26-1V 15 of the Comprehensive Zoning Ordinance of 20 feet. Number 8, the rear yard setback of 2 tiny homes along the east property line should be increased from 8 feet to 20 feet, and the rear yard setback of 2 tiny homes along the west property line should be increased from 12 feet to 20 feet. Number 9, a minimum of 0.18 acres or 20% of the property shall be dedicated to common open space, hereafter referred to as village green. The village green may include landscaping, active and passive recreational facilities, water features, and or any natural areas. Number 10, the village green shall be centrally located within the proposed development and accessible by all residents and tenants. The concept plan features a picnic area with grills and green space. According to the concept plan, there is approximately 21,900 square feet of green space, or 55%. Number 11, the owner of the project is Prestige Wealth Management, LLC. The owner shall own and maintain Village Green. Number 12, the letter submitted with the application states there will be 4 guest parking spaces at the office, and then each tiny home will have 2 parking spaces for a total of 14 parking spaces. However, this parking lot will need to conform to the Augusta tree ordinance and include the required tree islands. Number 13, there is no loading area presented on the concept plan and would need to be factored into the parking plan. Number 14, there will not be a dumpster with an enclosure presented on the concept plan, and it would need to be factored into the plan. Number 15, according to section 26-1 V18, every tiny home must be serviced by public sewer and water. Public water is present. However, sewer is not present in the area. Number 16, the concept plan proposes a septic area behind the tiny homes for an engineered septic system. Number 17, Hepzibah McBean Road is identified as a minor arterial route. The overall parcel must have permanent paved access to Hepzibah McBean Road. Number 18, the subject property is not within the flood zone. Number 19, there are no wetlands present on the subject property. Number 20, the proposal is not consistent with the aspects of the 2023 comprehensive plan. Number 21, at the time of completion of this report, staff has received many notifications of opposition regarding this petition as advertised. Okay, comments received by engineering/utilities are as follows. Engineering comments are, there are no storm system or water quality given in this concept, and parking must be standard. Parking must have standard dimensions. Okay, the fire comments are as follows. The closest fire hydrant is over 750 feet away from the furthest most home, which is not desirable for this application. Also, the distance from the closest fire department is 186 feet between the parking lot and the furthest home. This would greatly affect fire operations and medical response. Typically, the maximum distance is 150 feet. And that concludes my presentation for these 2 cases, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. I see the petition in the audience. How you doing, Ms. Kong? Welcome back. You come forward and give us your name and your address, and this body is familiar with your project and what you're hoping to achieve. So if you could give us any new relevant updates from the last time we saw you.
Yes, my name is Sade Kong, address 4902 Windsor Spring Road, Unit 62, Hepzibah 30815. So we did hire a scientist to go out on the land and to work with the health department. And I would like to introduce to you the construction company that's hired to build this project, Matt, with Augusta Construction.
All right, so if you can give us your name and address.
Matt Lane, it's 485 Columbia Industrial Boulevard, Evans, Georgia, 30809. So yeah, she hired us. We did this concept plan, and it's exactly what it is. It's concept. It was kind of last minute. We're working with Blue Water Engineering to do a septic design system on that, because it's got to be, built to that. There is a few other areas, like mentioned, that we got to do for the garage, or not the garage, the garbage area, and stuff like that. So we're still working through that. Blue Water hasn't got back with us yet because of they've been out for the holidays. So I think that's one of the major pieces that we're still waiting on, is the septic design of the septic system. But like I said, we're willing to change this any way we can to come in compliance or whatever we need to do for zoning and planning. So other than that, I don't.
All right, thank you. Commissioners, do you have questions of the petitioner? Commissioner Spencer.
Is there any way with your change that you will be able to affect the setbacks also on that property?
Yeah, the 20, talking about the 20-foot setbacks and stuff like that, yeah. Yeah, we can address all that that's needed to be addressed.
Correct.
Yes.
Additional questions or comments from commissioners? Okay, seeing none. Anybody in the audience in opposition to this petition? All right, staff, if you want to get a count of the individuals who are in opposition. Do you have a spokesperson to express your opposition, or you just want your opposition to be noted? Okay, if there's going to be multiple speakers, the opposition has a balance of 10 minutes. And so if you would like to speak, if you could address this podium. This one, sir. On your left.
My name is Doug Lively. I live at 1925 Hepzibah McBean Road. I run a Facebook page called 30815 Neighborhood Watch, and the overwhelming response when this information was posted as to the plans to put the 5 tiny homes there has been negative. I will just tell you that. As I hear and have attended the pre-meeting, I hear more reasons not to do this than I hear to do this. And I don't think that tiny homes is a bad idea. I just think it's a bad location. I think tiny homes may be great for some inner city location within walking distance on bus routes, et cetera, et cetera. But as mentioned about the 2023 plan for Augusta, the 8th district, more specifically Hepzibah, Georgia, is designated as farms, farm homes. I myself live on 10 acres and a 4,500 square foot home. And if these types of developments have the legacy of trailer parks and apartments, then within a period of 10 years, they will degrade. We have found that the upkeep usually is not up to par. And eventually what they do is they attract a clientele that is of a lesser than desirable neighbor, if you will. Are there any questions of me?
Thank you, Ms. Lively. Greatly appreciate your input. Anybody else from the opposition want to speak before we close that portion? All right, ma'am, if you would come forward and give us your name and address in your comments. You have a balance of about 7 minutes.
I'm the one who gives you all the handouts. I'll tell you that. And I was going to stand up here with a little speech.
Yeah, before you begin, ma'am, you can just give us your name and your address.
I am so sorry. Vicki Richardson, and it is 1429 Hepzibah McBean Road, just a hop and a skip away. So I'm sorry, I forgot about the microphone and a little bit nervous. There is a lot on the handouts I've been giving you. The latest one that I handed you today, and I apologize for it coming in so late, but I just found out. It was facts on the aquifer, which runs underneath us. I'm sorry.
No, keep talking.
Did I do something wrong?
I'm gonna put it on the screen so that.
Okay.
Keep going.
Lost my train of thought. It's your fault. No, seriously, I know there's a time here. It's, the agricultural designation isn't just for atmosphere. I mean, I could sit here and tell you about my 3 acres, okay? I could tell you about the blind raccoon. But the important facts are in the paper, and it's that aquifer. Of all the things that I have read about, the aquifer is divided into different, it's classified in different zones, okay? The one we live in is called high priority or critical. And what this equates to is, and I love analogies, forgive me, if you had a coffee filter and ran your water through it, you know how it just drip, drip, drips. Well, that's in a regular zone. You take the priority zone, the high priority zone, and add a hole at the bottom of the coffee filter. And everything that falls down on top of that ground goes and goes down into our drinking water. There is a water tower on Old Waynesboro Road, only about 2.5 miles from where we live. That's mighty close. Now, you got the septic tank problem there, which is not allowed to be underneath the buildings. Okay, several different reasons. One is space, because you not only got to allow for a septic tank and a drain field, you have to have a backup drain field. Just in case something goes wrong. Well, and that's a double problem, a double-edged sword, because if something goes wrong, you get to move the structure to get to it, or dig a tunnel. Now, there are more problems with that besides the regulations. Regulations say that the septic tanks have to be 10 feet from the foundation of the home. And by the way, I haven't heard any mention of foundations yet. And one of the sticking points I had was on the application itself. If you will read the manufacturer's description of these homes, the very last line is, "These are meant for outdoor temporary housing." Say anything about permanent homes. So we're looking at not just the safety, not just the water problem, we're also looking at a safety thing. I am in full support of affordable housing, okay? But responsibly. And responsibly means homes that aren't going to blow away when the next hurricane comes through. And we can't sit here and say, well, that'll never happen. They're foldable. They go up in 10 minutes. What goes up? When is it going to come down? That's an awful strong wind that came through. You've got so many other things, and like I said, I was going to sit here and read them all to you, but you can read, You don't want to not just spoil, but ruin everybody's water. I couldn't find facts and figures yet. Give me time and I will find them for you on how long a spill would stay in the water. How far will it go? Because that aquifer, I had no idea. I knew there was an aquifer. I thought it was a little pond someplace down the road. I didn't know it ran from Columbus to Augusta. It's about 50 miles wide. So how far will the pollution, which will have a plume effect from multiple septic tanks, how far will that go? How many people are going to get sick? And, at the very least, be inconvenienced. And you've got not only the Augusta regulations, you've got Georgia regulations.
Ms. Richardson, pardon my interruption, but you have a balance of about 1 minute, so you can just give us your final thoughts.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I knew I was going to do that. Darn. But it was so interesting. No, seriously, all I can do is draw it to a close now and leave you with all the paper I've dumped on you. Thank you for your time, and I thank particularly Amanda, who I have pestered to death on the phone asking questions, and she's been very patient with me. So thank you, and I know that you will do the right thing. Thanks.
Thank you. Are there any supporters in the audience? All right. If y'all got a couple, if you want to count the supporters. Are we going to give you the same opportunity if you want to express your support or if you just want it to be noted? All right. Okay. Let's hear from the staff recommendations.
All right. The Planning and Development staff recommends denial of the rezoning request to R-3B, multifamily residential, as the property is unable to meet the multiple requirements for a tiny home community and it's not consistent with the aspects of the 2023 comprehensive plan. That concludes staff recommendations.
All right, Chair will entertain a motion.
Motion to deny.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to deny this petition. Can we do a roll call vote? Yeah, because if this one, passes, if the denial passes, the special exception the companion will also fail. Okay, all right. Or we can do a roll call vote.
All right, so, okay, that's a motion to deny Z2544. All right, who I got? Commissioner Owens, how do we vote? Yes to deny or no to, yes to deny? Okay. Commissioner Spencer? Aye. What you say, Spencer?
Oh, I said yes to deny.
Oh, okay. Commissioner Larsey?
Deny.
Deny, okay. Commissioner Clark? Yes to deny. All right. Commissioner McKnight?
Deny.
Commissioner Prince? Deny. And Commissioner O'Neill, I'm sorry. Deny. Commissioner Cooks? Sit up.
Abstain.
Good, I can't even see you. Okay. I skip you too. Commissioner Davis, how do you vote? Deny, okay. All right, so Z2544 has been denied.
Okay.
Could I say something real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. But before you do, so this will be moved to the full commission. What date is that? Okay, so this recommendation will be moved to the January 20th full commission. So you will have another opportunity, to represent your case. But you can certainly say something now. Absolutely.
My zoning is for multifamily residents. So I do want the entire community to know it might not approve for tiny homes, but I have the money to put a multifamily apartment complex there. That is not a rezoning. I am licensed by my zoning that I can build that. Second of all, I would like to announce the 40 acres of tiny homes that I'm building in Arizona that is approved for 300 tiny homes, for veterans and for people to live and have a home over their head, and I'm very proud of that project. But I was hoping that Augusta would have given an opportunity of 5 homes for families that are living in their home in cars. But this is not a defeat or not gonna happen. I have my money to build a multifamily apartment complex that is right next door to my property, that has 8 units with a septic tank. It can happen. So it's already zoned, and I already hired the construction company to build which way this had went, okay? So I just wanted to let you know, thank you all for your time, because I've been busy flying all over the United States in meetings, especially with the 40 acres that my company just purchased. So, thank you.
All right, well, thank you, Ms. Kong. All right, to the staff, because this one is denied, do we need to take a vote for the special exception as well? Okay.
For the record, yes, sir.
All right. All right, we'll entertain a motion for the special exception,
Motion to
2514.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to deny special exception 2514. We can also do a roll call vote.
You want to do all in favor?
You had one abstention.
Oh, that's right.
Roll
All right.
call.
Y'all good? Okay, so we got a motion. We're denying special exception 2514. Commissioner Owens?
Yes to deny.
Commissioner Spencer?
Yes.
Commissioner Cooks?
Abstain.
Okay. Commissioner Laracy? Commissioner Clark?
Yes to deny.
Commissioner Davis? Commissioner McKnight?
No.
Commissioner Prince? And Commissioner O'Neill? Thank you. So that's petition has been denied as well.
All right, thank you. All right, let's proceed.
All right, number 3, Z-26-01, petition by Sheila R. Butler on behalf of the Macedonia Baptist Church of Augusta, requesting a rezoning from Zone B-1, neighborhood business, to Zone B-2, general business, to establish a public event venue affecting property containing approximately 8.26 acres located at 1755 Gordon Highway. Staff will present.
Thank you, Mr. Vassar. Mr. Chair, members of the commission, once again, Todd Kennedy from Planning and Development staff here to discuss this case. Summary of the request is as follows. The petition seeks to rezone approximately 8.26 acres. The request is to change the zoning from B-1, neighborhood business, to B-2, general business, to allow for a public event venue at one of the leasable suites. The property contains a 68,707 square foot shopping center built in 1985 with a large parking lot facing Gordon Highway. The site has both ingress and egress from both Gordon Highway to the west and Milledgeville Road to the north. The comprehensive plan consistency is as follows. This property is in the South Augusta character area. The 2023 comprehensive plan's vision for the South Augusta character area will be to reflect a mix of housing types, preserving suburban style, single-family neighborhoods, as well as mixed-use and planned developments. Established activity centers are the focus for enhanced recreation and educational activities, retail investment, and job opportunities. Infill will be instrumental in the future development of South Augusta. One of the development patterns identified includes adding commercial and retail development at major intersections near underserved neighborhoods. Based on cross-checking the proposal with the 2023 comprehensive plan, the petition for rezoning is consistent with the 2023 comprehensive plan. The findings are as follows, and they are 1 through 10. Number 1, Section 22-1 of the Comprehensive Zoning Ordinance allows for theaters, billboard, or billiard or pool parlors, bowling alleys, skating rinks, or other similar recreational uses or places of assembly. Number 2, the concept plan has been submitted with the submitted application as there is no proposal for future redevelopment at this time. Number 3, the letter submitted with the application states that Suite H on the site will be used for an event, planning, and services at this location. Number 4, according to the Georgia Department of Transportation, GDOT, some state functional classification map 2017. Gordon Highway is classified as a major arterial, excuse me, can't even talk today. And Milledgeville Road is classified as a minor arterial route. Number 5, the entire site is a shopping center with abundant parking. A B-2 general business zoning classification would allow greater flexibility of land uses to be permissible at this site, enabling greater potential for economic vitality in the area. Number 6, a variety of zoning classifications exist in the vicinity of the site, including B1, neighborhood business, and B2, general business, and LI, light industry, or light industrial, and R1A, one-family residential. Number 7, the subject property is not located within special flood hazard area, except for a small area at the south end of the parcel that has already been landscaped. Number 8, there are no wetlands present on the property. Number 9, the proposal is consistent with the 2023 comprehensive plan and is compatible with the surrounding land uses. And number 10, at the time of the completion of this report, staff has not received any inquiries regarding this petition as advertised. With comments from engineering and utility, no comments have been received by staff. Mr. Chair, that concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. Is the petitioner present? All right, if you could come forward to the podium and give us your name, address, any details on your project.
My name is Sheila R. Butler. The purpose for this establishment is to host events, special days like birthday parties, baby showers, weddings, and etc. We also do give backs, like as hosting Thanksgiving dinners, Christmas dinners, for families to come sit in. So it'd be different events that we host there for the community. But this is the purpose that we are trying to establish, is for event center.
All right. Ms. Butler, could you give us your address as well?
Oh, 2290 Basswood Drive, Augusta, Georgia.
All right, thank you. Commissioners, do you have questions of the petitioner? All right, seeing none, anybody in the audience in opposition? In the same way, anyone in the audience that supports? All right, let's hear. All right, sir, would you like to express your support or you just wanted to be noted? Come to the podium if you could. Just give us your name and address for the record.
My name is Willis Holly, and I'm the property manager of that shopping center. And we've talked extensively. I've talked to all the tenants there. Nobody had anything in opposition.
Okay, great. Your address, sir?
1755 Gordon Highway, Suite B.
All right, thank you so very much. Okay, staff recommendations.
The Planning and Development staff recommends approval of the rezoning request to B2 general business as the property is compatible with the 2023 comprehensive plan and surrounding land use. That concludes staff recommendation.
All right, Chair will entertain a motion.
Move to approve, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to approve petition Z-26-01. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, same right. All right, your petition has been approved, and this recommendation will move forward to the full commission on January 20th.
Thank you, guys.
All right, let's proceed.
All right. Next one is Z-26-02, a petition by Jennifer Jones on behalf of the Plunkett Family Revocable Living Trust requesting a rezoning from Zone R-1, one family residential, and R-1A, one family residential, to Zone B-1, neighborhood business, to develop a private school campus affecting containing approximately 5.32 acres located at 3118 Skinnermere Circle. Staff represent.
Good afternoon, Ashley Catterton, Development Services Administrator, 2026, sorry. So the summary of this request is the applicant is seeking to rezone a 5.32 acre property that's located at 3118 Skinner Mill Circle from single-family residential R1 and R1A to B1, which is neighborhood business. And this is to develop a private school campus. Specifically, this private school will be a fully equipped, freestanding, specialized early intervention school and therapy clinic for children with medical and developmental needs. According to the 2023 comprehensive plan, this property is located within the West Augusta character area. The vision for West Augusta is to promote limited development of remaining vacant properties with infill residential development at densities that are compatible with the surrounding area and site design that reflects existing neighborhood patterns and architectural styles. Commercial development is to be confined to existing locations, and any redevelopment of commercial sites should be appropriately buffered from adjoining residential areas. For findings, the letter of intent that was submitted with the application indicates that the proposed development will include, first bullet point, a fully equipped freestanding specialized early intervention school and therapy clinic offering physical, occupational, speech, and feeding therapies. Bullet point number 2, an integrated early childhood and elementary, middle, and high school for children with medical and developmental needs. And from my research, the initial location that's adjacent, that's located on 3104 Skinner Mill, that was from 6 weeks to kindergarten, so they're expanding their age group. Bullet point number 3, a safe, accessible campus design, including specialized therapy spaces, adaptive playground areas, and adequate parking. Bullet point number 4, hours of operation generally between 7:30 a.m. and 5 p.m. with occasional early evening therapy appointments. And bullet point number 5, traffic flow and parking plans that ensure safe student arrival and dismissal and minimize neighborhood impact. Continuing on, there is no recent zoning history for this specific property, and as I mentioned, the adjacent property at 3104 Skinner Mill Road has been rezoned to B1, the neighborhood business, with a special exception for a similar concept back in 2018 by the same applicant. This property is not located within a special flood hazard area. There are no wetlands located at this property. The nearest public transit stop is located approximately 1 mile away, directly east on Washington Road. According to GDOT, the Skinner Mill Road and Skinner Mill Circle are classified as local roads. Adjacent zoning districts consist primarily of single-family residential with a church that is adjacent directly to the west. According to the preliminary traffic impact worksheet, traffic engineering has determined that a traffic study is not necessary for the proposed development. The proposed rezoning request to B1 is consistent with the 2023 comprehensive plan and compatible with surrounding land uses along Skinner Mill Road. And at the time of completion of this report, staff have not received any inquiries regarding the petition as advertised. For comments from engineering and utilities, traffic engineering comment states, ensure interior driveway is spaced far enough from Skinner Mill. For engineering comments, the covered drop-off must be 16 feet wide. Detention areas can't open release into neighboring properties. They must release into a defined system. And for utilities, there were none received at this time. And that concludes staff's presentation.
Thank you, Ms. Catterton. Is the petitioner present? All right, if you would come forward and give us your name, address, and any new details on your project.
Hi, thank y'all for having us here today. My name is Jennifer Jones. I'm the founder and executive director of Aparo Academy at 3104 Skinner Mill Road, Augusta, Georgia. Thank you so much for looking at our petition today. I do want to make a couple of corrections to what she said that has changed since we did our original submission. The plans are correct, but we've been doing the feasibility study for what will our supporters support along with what do our families need throughout this process at the same time. We submitted everything to y'all with a middle school and a high school originally, but through the feasibility report, we've determined that we really only need to go through elementary school, which has changed the drawings quite significantly because it removed a middle school building and a high school building. We've determined by working with children with special needs that they make the most gains up through about 6th grade, and that's really what we need to do. We need to keep these kids a little bit longer. It's been an amazing journey for the past 7 years. We've impacted the lives of hundreds and hundreds of children. 55% of the children who leave our academy now at the kindergarten age no longer need therapy services. That's life-changing for those families, but it's also life-changing for Richmond County schools because now they don't need those services in 1st grade, 2nd grade, and further on. So it's saving taxpayer dollars when they move on to elementary school. Our goal is, what about the other 45%? Unfortunately, when they move on to higher education, they get 1 time a month of therapy services. In our school, they get therapy 3, 4, 5 times a week. That's changing their lives. 1 time a month is not going to change their lives. So in talking with our families and saying, what do you need? How can we help? Because they're distraught. They think we're kicking them out, but we're like, we're small. We're 10 classrooms. You have to move on. But they see that as a detrimental kind of thing. So we say, we can see what we can do. Well, then this opened up that we could purchase this property and we can change more lives. So if we can keep these children just 6 more years through that 6th grade period, we can make an even bigger impact on the lives in these families. It's a big deal, and it costs a lot of money to raise a child with special needs. I have 5. And I just want to help change the lives for these families and these children. The property will allow us to serve more children in a therapy setting as well. We currently have 23 therapists in our current building, serving 275 children a week. By adding an extra therapy building, we're going to be able to impact more lives. The wait list in this town is 6 months to a year to get your child into therapy. That's a lot of time wasted that you can be changing that child's trajectory for life. Our goal is to impact more families and more lives. We've worked hard with Booker and Vic Architecture to try to make sure that the design of this does not look like our current building. It looks like housing. So if you look at the schematic that we've already submitted, this is going to look more like a housing type of property as opposed to a big building like what we're in currently on 3104 Skinner Mill Road. We want to impact families, not impact this community in a negative way. And we just would like to know if y'all have any questions or anything for me that I can answer further.
Thank you, Ms. Jones. Commissioners, do you have questions of the petitioner?
No, I just want to thank you for what you're doing as a retired educator. I really want to thank you for what you're doing at this time. Thank you.
Thank you for those comments, Commissioner. Seeing no additional questions, anybody in the audience in opposition to this petition? All right, in the same way, any supporters? See a few. You guys want to express your support or just your support to be noted? All right. All right, let's move to staff recommendations.
All right. The Planning and Development staff recommends approval of the rezoning request to B1 with the following conditions. The development must substantially conform to the concept plan submitted with this rezoning application. Number 2, any proposed lighting fixtures must be direct downwards and not towards the building. Number 3, the development must comply with all aspects of the Augusta Tree Ordinance. Number 4, the development shall provide a minimum of 20-foot wide natural vegetative buffers along the side and rear yards of the property. Number 5, approval of this rezoning request does not constitute approval of the conceptual site plan submitted with this rezoning application. The proposed development shall obtain site plan approval in compliance with the site plan regulations of Augusta, Georgia prior to construction commencement of this property. Number 6, the development of this property shall comply with all development standards and regulations set forth by the City of Augusta, Richmond County, Georgia, as amended at the time of the development. Number 7, the property shall be limited to a private school or use permitted in R1 zoning. And that concludes staff recommendations.
To the petitioner, do you accept those recommendations?
Yes, sir.
All right, Chair will entertain a motion.
I recommend approval of staff's recommendations.
Second.
All right, it has been moved and seconded to approve petition Z-26-2 with the staff recommendations. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, well, it has been approved, your petition has been approved, and so this recommendation be moved to the full commission on January 20th.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's proceed.
All right. Next one is Z-26-03, a petition by, I want to say, Payesh Patel on behalf of Garrett H. Fuller II, requesting a rezoning from Zone A Agriculture and L1 Light Industrial to Zone B2 General Business to develop a retail complex with a drive-through affecting approximately 1.25 acres out of a 4.52 acres tract, located at 3416, 3430, and 3438 Mike Paget Highway. Staff will present.
Hello again, Ashley Catterton, Development Services Administrator. For the summary of this request, the applicant is requesting the rezoning of approximately 1.25 acres from an overall 4.52 acre parcel to accommodate a proposed drive-through restaurant and retail development. The subject area encompasses 3438 Mike Paget Highway and portions of 3416 and 3430 Mike Paget Highway. The site is presently occupied by an abandoned restaurant and an existing surface parking area and undeveloped land. The property maintains frontage along Mike Paget Highway. For comprehensive plan consistency, the property is located within the South Augusta character area. The plan's vision for this area describes commercial development characterized by shopping centers, small strip centers, professional offices, and individual commercial establishments arranged in a linear pattern along major streets and highways, with clustering near Interstate 520 interchanges. Recommended development patterns for the South Augusta character area also includes additional commercial and retail development at major intersections near underserved neighborhoods. For findings, there is no recent zoning history for the properties. The properties have nearby access to public water and sanitary sewer systems. The GDOT classifies Mike Paget Highway as a major arterial road. The proposed development meets the minimum off-street parking requirements. A total of 32 parking spaces are required, and 52 spaces are provided on the concept plan. The nearest bus stop is approximately 180 feet from the subject property. The properties are not located within a special flood hazard area, and there are no wetlands located on the properties. Adjacent zoning districts include agricultural, general business, B2 to the north, agricultural and single-family R1C, and light industrial, LI, to the east, agricultural and LI to the south, and agricultural to the west. According to the preliminary traffic impact worksheet, traffic engineering has determined that a traffic study is not necessary for the proposed development. The proposed change in zoning to B2 would be consistent with the 2023 comprehensive plan. And for engineering and utilities comments, traffic engineering comment states that ensure driveways meet GDOT standards. For engineering comments, even with the decrease in impervious, the site must have detention. If existing detention can be definitely proven, it can stand for the new development. If not, detention must be provided in the design. And for utilities, no comments were received. And at the time of completion of this report, staff have not received any inquiries regarding this petition, and that concludes staff's presentation.
Thank you. Is the petitioner present? All right, sir, if you could come to the podium and give us your name, address, and any details on your project.
Hello, my name is Piyush Patel. My address is 518 Seminole Place, Augusta, Georgia, 30907. We are proposing a retail strip center along with a restaurant, Dunkin' Donuts, which is now Dunkin', and other few retail restaurants in this area. Approximately 7,000 square feet building with a Dunkin' with a drive-through. And we also have another restaurant such as Subway looking at it as well. And we'll be leasing the remaining space to other retail and office users. If there are any specific questions I can answer.
All right, thank you, Mr. Patel. Commissioners, do you have questions of the petitioner? All right, seeing none, anybody in the audience in opposition? All right, in the same way, anyone in the audience support? All right, thank you, gentlemen and ladies. All right, staff recommendations.
All right. The Planning Development staff recommends approval of the rezoning request to a B2 general business with the following condition. The parcels shall be combined to one parcel, and the combination plat shall be recorded with the clerk of Superior Court's office prior to submittal for the site plan approval. The property owners must file the necessary deed plats for recording and then providing planning and development with a copy to ensure that the property has been appropriately transferred so that the real estate/tax records and GIS maps can be updated accordingly. The development must comply with all aspects of the Augusta Tree Ordinance. Number 3, the approval of this rezoning request does not constitute approval of the conceptual site plan submitted with the rezoning application. The proposed development shall obtain the site plan approval in compliance with the site plan regulations of Augusta, Georgia prior to construction commencing on the property. Lastly, the development of the property shall comply with all development standards and regulations set forth by the City of Augusta, Richmond County, Georgia, as amended at the time of development. This concludes staff recommendations.
All right, Mr. Patel, do you accept those recommendations from staff?
Yes, sir.
All right, Chair will entertain a motion.
Move to approve, Mr. Chair.
Second. Been moved and seconded, to approve petition Z-26-03. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, same right. All right, it has been approved. Petition Z-26-3. All right, sir, so this recommendation will be moved to the full commission January 20th.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
All right. Number 6, SC-26-01, petition by Highside Companies on behalf of HR Commercial LLC requesting a special session per section 22-2-D of the comprehensive zoning ordinance to develop an extended stay hotel affecting properties containing approximately 3.76 acres located at 1060 Clausen Road. Staff represent.
Hi, good afternoon. Rachel Martin with Planning and Development. This application involves a 3.76 acre tract located at 1060 Clausen Road. The applicant requests a special exception to establish an extended stay hotel. Currently, the land remains vacant and undeveloped and can be accessed through the parking lot of 1058 Clausen Road. The concept plan submitted with this special exception application features the following: a 4-story extended stay hotel, 120 guest rooms with kitchens, 124 parking spaces, outdoor patio, amenity space or optional pool, amenity and storage building, and a dumpster with enclosure. The proposed development is part of the West Augusta character area. The vision for West Augusta is to confine commercial development to existing locations and to ensure any additional redevelopment of commercial sites will be buffered from adjoining residential areas. The proposal is consistent with the 2023 comprehensive plan. And the findings are as follows. Extended stay hotels are permitted by special exception in the B2 general business zone and shall meet the following criteria. There shall be no direct vehicular access to any guest room. This proposal does not show any direct vehicular access to any guest room, so it is compliant with this requirement. There shall be staff or management on duty 24 hours per day, 7 days per week, and this hotel will meet that criteria. Each guest room shall have a minimum of 280 square feet, and this the smallest room that's shown here is 280 square feet, therefore it complies. No business license shall be issued for any business operated from any guest room, and that it must comply with zoning regulations, which it does. No outside storage or permanent parking of equipment or vehicles shall be permitted. Once again, this must comply with zoning regulations, and it does. No building constructed under this section may be converted to or used as apartments or condominiums, and that must comply with zoning regulations as well, which it does. A preliminary plan shall be submitted showing the proposed layout of buildings, ingress, egress, buffers, and landscaping, amenities, and the density of the development. This preliminary plan shall be a consideration in granting the special exception. It must comply. The conceptual plan does not include buffers or landscaping details, so we wanted to note that. A previous special exception, Z-06-52, was approved by the Augusta Commission on June 20th, 2006. The request was to establish an extended stay motel in a B2 general business zone and to modify a previous zoning condition, which was on Z-96-109, to allow the serving of alcohol in the guest lounge of one of the two hotel proposals. Per the approved special exception from 2006, any use established had to start within 6 months of granting the request, and since that did not happen, therefore that special exception was no longer valid. According to FEMA, there's no flood in this particular area, and there's also no wetlands. Public transit is not located in the immediate area. According to GDOT, Clausen Road is classified as a local road. And according to the traffic impact worksheet, traffic engineering has determined that a traffic study is not necessary. Adjacent zoning districts to the west, east, and south are also B2 general business. Properties to the north are zoned B1, which is neighborhood business. The proposed use is compatible with the surrounding land uses and consistent with goals and policies in the comprehensive plan. And at the time of completion of this staff report, we have not received any inquiries regarding the petition as advertised. We also only received one engineering comment that detention must be provided. And that concludes staff's presentation.
All right, thank you. Mr. Petitioner present. All right, if you could come up, give us your name, address, and any additional details on your project.
Hello, Lauren Guerin. I live at 402 Bakers Ferry Trail in Martinez. I'm with Thomas & Hutton. I'm the civil engineer on the project. And like what was said earlier, we are here proposing a development for an Everhome Suites. It's a relatively new brand for Choice Hotels. There'd be 120 apartment-like guest rooms. And do you have any questions for me?
All right, thank you, Ms. Guerin. Commissioners, do you have questions of the petitioner? All right, seeing none. Anybody in the audience in opposition? All right, in the same way, anybody support? All right, staff recommendations, thank you. You have one back here for the record in support.
The Planning Development staff recommends approval of the special exception request with this following condition. Number one, shall comply with all applicable regulations set forth in section 22-2-D of the Comprehensive Zoning Ordinance of Augusta, Georgia. Number two, the extended stay hotels shall be limited to 4 stories with no more than 120 guest rooms. Number three, must comply with all aspects of the Augusta Tree Ordinance. Number four, the development of the property shall comply with all development standards and regulations set forth by the City of Augusta, Richmond County, Georgia, as amended at the time of development. That concludes staff recommendation.
All right, do you accept those staff recommendations?
We do.
All right, Chair will entertain a motion.
Move to approve with recommendations.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to approve this special exception. All in favor? Any opposed? All right, this your special exception has been approved and it'll be moved to the full commission on January 20th. Thank you. All right, anything from the legal session? No. Okay, making us hold our breath up here. All right, can I get a motion to approve the December minutes?
Motion to approve.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from December. All in favor? Aye. All right, opposed, seeing none. All right, motion to adjourn. Oh, I don't know, just put something like that. Cooks, yeah.